Hello, my amazing students. We're on lesson 33, and the first thing we want to do is pull out our homework check, lesson 32 homework check, and take out a pencil, a pen, no pencils allowed, and we're going to check our homework from lesson 32. Okay, so let's go on to the answers. You can see the answers. What I want you to do is either mark it C for correct, X for wrong, or if you got half of it right, give yourself a half. We're just trying to get an idea of how much we understand. And then, of course, you need to ask me questions on anything that you need to talk about. And we talked about all these yesterday, but the video messed up, so I'm going to click through these pretty quickly, just so that if you are looking at these at home, you have your answers to look at. Okay, this is starting the homework set. You can always pause the video and go back if you need to. There's some more answers. There we go. There's the last one. So hopefully that was helpful to you to know what your answers were. We already graded that. So now we're going to talk about the problems that we did yesterday in class while my video was not working. And 21, what we would do is we would underline those, save them for later. 21 times 4 would be 84. And then we would tack on our 2 zeros, which all of you did well on. Okay, fractional parts. We had a little trouble with this one. Remember, the key to this is to remember that 33 1/3% is 1/3 exactly. So we remember that that is equivalent to the fraction 1/3. Then it's 1/3 of is always times 390. Okay, so when you put it as an exact fraction form, then it's so much easier to come up with the answer. 390 divided by 3 is 130. So $130 is 33 1/3% of 390. So then we have to look at how long is this strip. So this strip is coming down right here. And remember, this is centimeters, so each one of these is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. There's 10 in between each number. Therefore, each little slot is a tenth, and that's got 5, 6, 7 tenths. So 4 and 7 tenths would be the decimal answer, or 4 and 7 tenths would be the mixed number answer. Okay, so Albert threw only 64 pitches in 9 innings. About how many pitches per inning did Albert throw? Okay, so 64 in 7 would be 64 divided by 7. And we know that 9 times 7 is 63, and that's going to be pretty close, isn't it? So we have 1/7 left over, and 1/7 would round down because 1 is not half of 7. So we would say about 9 pitches per inning. Scientific notation, 12 million. So first let's write it in its standard form, 12. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 12 million, and then we're going to turn that into scientific notation, which will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, decimal right after the first non-zero digit, 1.2 times 10 to the 7th power is the scientific notation. Oh, these are fun with the triangles. So now we've got 139 degrees accounted for out of 180 degrees in every triangle. So we will subtract and borrow here, or rename, however you want to call it. 10 minus 9 is 1, 7 minus 3 is 4, and we have 41 degrees is X. Okay, Sam bought 7 at $2.97 each plus 4 at $9.97 each. About how much did he spend? Okay, so since this is an about problem, we're going to estimate, and $2.97 is real close to $3. So he bought 7 at $3, and he bought 4. $9.97 is very close to $10. He bought 4 at $10. So 7 times 3 is 21. 4 times 10 is 40. And 21 plus 40 is 61. So about $61 was what he spent. Okay. And our calculation, you guys got it right in the classroom. 32 divided by 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9, square root that is 3, plus 1 plus 5 is 8, square it, 64, plus 1, 65, plus 10, 75, divided by 3, 25, root that is 5, times 7 is 35. Those are fun. Okay, so here we are starting with our lesson, and this was a pretty short lesson. Recall that we use a method called algebraic addition to subtract integers. Instead of subtracting a number, we add its opposite. Consider the following examples. So we have -3 minus +2. Okay, now what they're saying here is instead of subtracting, we're going to add the opposite. So we're going to take the subtraction sign, change it to plus, and instead of +2, it will be -2. So basically, we're just attaching that minus sign to the number behind it. We'll go ahead and write down the -3. -3 plus a -2. We're adding, same sign, add, take the common sign, is 5, and then the common sign is negative. So the answer is -5. Okay, on this one, we're going to change our subtraction to addition of the opposite. Addition of the opposite. -3 plus a +2. We're adding opposite signs. So opposite sign subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1. Take the sign of the big guy, which was -3, has a bigger absolute value than +2. So we have -1. All right, we changed the subtraction sign to an addition sign and reverse the sign of the subtrahend, the number being subtracted. Then we add. Okay, so in expression A, -3 minus +2, they're just showing us what we just did on the last page. Okay, Jocelyn has a checking balance of $1,286. In the mail, she receives a rebate check for $25 and a utility bill for $128. She deposits the rebate and writes a check for the bill. Write an equation with integers for the situation and find her checking balance after the transactions. Okay, so since this is a checking balance, that means that's money she has in her account. So we will call that 1286 to the positive. Okay, in the mail, she receives a rebate check for $25, which is also positive. Okay, and then a utility bill for $128, which is negative. So we'll add these two positives together, and then we will subtract. So here we go. We have 6 plus 5 is 11, 9, 10, 11, 3, and 1, and then we're going to subtract 1, 3, 1, 1 minus the 128, which was the bill. So now we're going to have to come over here, make that a 0, make that a 1, so 11 minus 8 is 3. We're going to have to do it again, make that a 2, make that a 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. And then 12, take away 1 is 11. So she has 1,183 in her account now after her rebate and her bill. Okay, so we got it right, 1,183, and they're just showing the work there. All right, so here are the rules. Now, these rules here were your addition rules. We already covered those in an earlier lesson. Okay, so here we go. Same sign, add, take the common sign. Okay, opposite signs, they say different signs, but opposite signs is what I say in our little rule. Opposite signs, subtract. Take the sign of the addend with the greater absolute value. So a lot of times I just say take the sign of the big guy, the guy that's pulling hardest in that tug of war. Now here is our new rule down here. This is the one we're adding this lesson. When we're subtracting a number, instead add its opposite. So we're going to say subtraction is addition of the opposite. Subtraction is addition of the opposite. Okay, that's our rule. So now we've got negative 12 minus negative 3. We're going to change this to, oops, not sure why that's not working. Okay, so we have negative 12 minus the negative 3. We're going to change this to addition of the opposite. So we change the subtraction to addition of the opposite. So now we're adding opposite sign numbers. When we're opposite sign subtract, so 12 minus 3 is 9. So 9 is the number part. And then we say which one, the negative 12 or the positive 3, is the larger pull of the two. The negative pull is larger, isn't it? So we're going to say negative 9 is the answer. Okay, so here we have negative 12, and we're going to rewrite it as addition of the opposite. So that's plus a negative 3. Okay, so negative 3 plus negative 3. Those are same sign. We add 12 plus 3 is 15, and then we take the common sign. Both signs are negative, so the answer is negative 15. Okay, negative 3 minus a negative 12. Subtraction is addition of the opposite. So now negative 3 plus, we're adding a negative and a positive. That's opposite sign, subtract. 12 minus 3, okay, is 9. But then we have to say which one has the greater pull, the negative 3 or the positive 12. The positive 12 pulls farther to the positive side. So the answer is going to be a positive 12. We take the sign of the big guy. Okay, so here we're going to have subtraction is addition of the opposite. Negative 3 plus negative 12. Now both of these are going in the same direction. Negative 3 plus negative 3 is negative 15. Same sign, add, take the common sign. Choose any of the problems A through D and show the operation on a number line. Okay, so let's go back here. Well, let's choose C this time. Okay, so let's do this one. We're going to start at 0. And we're going to take 3 steps backwards. 1, 2, 3, and we wind up at -3. And then instead of minus a -12, we're going to say addition of the opposite. So we're going to add a +12 from this point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was trying to make those a little bit more even, but this is very difficult to write on. So I had 3 plus what is 12? I should have 9 steps over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I end up at 9. +9 is the answer on the number line. Okay, so let's go to F. Victor owed $386. So we would say a debt is -386. His creditor forgave him or subtracted $100 of the debt. So his creditor subtracted debt. So we'll say the debt was -$100. Okay, write an equation for the situation and find out how much Victor still owes. So if his creditor subtracted debt, then that's going to change to addition of the opposite and -386. Remember, opposite signs, a negative and a positive. I subtract 386, take away 100 is 286. And I subtract and take the sign of the big guy. This guy's the big guy. He's pulling harder to his side. So the answer is that he is $286 still in debt. So we'll say debt is $286. All right, number 1, this is your homework now. At midnight, the temperature was -5 degrees Fahrenheit. By 10 a.m. the next morning, it had increased by 17 degrees. What was the temperature at 10 a.m.? Okay, so at midnight, it was -5 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, and then it is increasing by 17 degrees. That means we're adding 17 degrees to it. And we already have addition. So we're going to look and say, do we have same sign or opposite sign? We have opposite signs. Since we have opposite signs, they're pulling against each other, going in different directions. So same sign, subtract. They're opposite signs. Opposite sign, subtract. Take the sign of the greater, or the big guy. So 17, take away 5 is 12. And the sign of the greater absolute value is positive. All right, so let's just take this one and use this one as a number line study. So here's our 0. And -5 would be 5 in the negative direction. Okay, and then from there, we would add the 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I forgot what I was adding. Okay, so I'm adding from here to here was 17. But since I had 5 in the negative, this should just be 12, shouldn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And +12 is the landing spot or the answer. Number 2, write the approximate distance from Earth to Venus. Okay, so this is what we're going to write in scientific notation. And we know that's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps to get the decimal right behind the first non-zero digit. 2.5 times 10 to the 7 is the scientific notation for this standard notation. Okay, number 3. Enrique bought 6 bags of grass seed to reseed his lawn. Each bag cost $13.89. How much did Enrique spend on grass seed? Okay, it doesn't say about, so we have to actually do the multiplication. $13.89. We're going to multiply by 6. Okay, so 9 times 6 is 54. 8 times 6 is 48, plus 5 is 53. And 3 times 6 is 18, plus 5 is 23. And 1 times 6 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 83.34. Okay, now just to check, let's round this up. Okay, let's round this up just for a check. 14 times 6 would be 24. 84. Okay, and since this is less than that by 11 cents on each dollar, this makes sense, right? So this was the approximation, this was the real one. In the city of Austin, Texas, the state sales tax is 6.25%. The city sales tax is 1%, and the transportation board sales tax is 1%. What percent do the people of Austin pay in sales taxes? Ken, who lives in Austin, purchased a bicycle for $189. How much sales tax did he pay? Okay, so 6.25% plus another 1% plus another 1% is going to be 6.25 plus 2 whole percent. So 8.25% is the sales tax, okay? And he buys a bike for $189. So $189 is what we're going to multiply by. But let's go ahead and put this into its decimal form. When it has its decimal form, that's going to move it over 2 more digits, and we're going to get 0.0825 times 189. Okay, so here we go. 5 times 9 is 45. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 4 is 22. 8 times 9 is 72, plus 2 is 74. And a 7 comes down there because that's just a 0. So now we're done with this one. So we're going with the 8. 5 times 8 is 40. Carry the 4. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 4 is 20. Carry the 2. And 8 times 8 is 64, plus 2 is 66. And then the 0. So it's just going to be a 0. Hold on, the 66, carry the 6 over. So the 6 went right there, which I already brought down. Okay, and then the next one is 5. So we had 5, and everything's by 1, so we can just copy them down, can't we? 2, 8, 0. Okay, so now I have to add all those up together, and I think I have room down here because I think you can see the screen. So we're going to say 5, 2, 9, 13 plus 2 is 15, 14, 15, and 1. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now this is money, and we don't want money to have 4 decimal places. So we're going to round this up to, we're going to round it to 59 because the 2 doesn't go up, it goes down. So we got $15.59 is the tax that he owes on his bicycle. That's a lot of tax. Okay, number 5. What kind of figure is created when these points are connected by line segments in the given order? So we have to stay in the given order. I'm going to make a little grid here. So we have -2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 5. So 1, and then here's 2. Make that 4, 5, 5, 5. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And up at the same height as that other one. And then 8, 2. Well, 8, that's 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 2 would be right here. And then we're going to connect in order. So connect, connect, connect. And notice, oops, that wasn't a very good straight one. Notice it goes all the way back to -2, 2. And y'all said it in class yesterday. That is a trapezoid. And a trapezoid is a figure that has 2 sides parallel and the other 2 sides not parallel. Trapezoid. And I'm not sure. This might be an A. We're going to check Miss A's spelling. I think that might be an A. In a whale ecology study, gray whales were tagged in order to study their feeding habits. One day, a biologist recorded that a gray whale feeding at a depth of 10 meters. So depth is below the surface of the water, so we'll say -10 meters. Suddenly descended, which means he's going down, descended another 32 meters. Okay, so what is the new depth of the gray whale? So again, we're going to change this from a minus a positive to a plus a negative. Okay, we're going to change both signs. So now we're adding 2 same signs, which means we're going to add, same sign add, and take the common sign. So -42, which means a depth of 42 meters is where the whale is now. And we are done with lesson 33. So everybody do your homework, and we will see you in class. This is Mrs. A, and may God bless your day.